Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, it is the 31st episode of the Old Humble Distilling Company's game night. And we are playing Conflict of Nations. We are 49 days into this latest campaign with California. And let's get it cranking, shall we? So Tuesday, I started the Chihuahua campaign, and I expected it to be wrapped up by today. And I still have an hour left in today, and we're not wrapped up yet. Oh man! But I have taken Chihuahua, the city. Let's make this full screen. Less of me, more of game is good. I am the old humble guy. So I dropped a chemical weapon on the city of Chihuahua. Destroyed everything in the city, and now we shall decontaminate the area. It is 82% complete or 82% decontaminated. I think it's 82% contaminated because this is a countdown clock of 8 hours and 38 seconds, or 8 hours and 38 minutes. I don't know if it's counting down to the right or if it's counting down to the left. I guess we'll find out after a while. Oh, hello. Looks like, no, here it is. Okay. I lost my infantry unit. I'll be damned. Did I? Is this? Yeah, I did. I lost my infantry unit. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this shit up. So there was an infantry unit somewhere around here that I lost. I guess I lost in Alamos. Let's look at the events real quick. Should be a red notice telling me I lost a unit. This is Virginia doing spy actions. I'm not really upset about that. It keeps him occupied. It makes him think he's doing stuff. I guess I don't know. I thought, where is the infantry unit that was over here? I thought I had an infantry unit over here. Maybe he's in Hermosillo. Oh, there's an infantry unit in Hermosillo. I don't know. Okay, well, this is mostly wrapped up. Is this where the infantry unit is? No, there's 2 tank units there. Interesting. Okay, well, what we're going to do is this infantry unit hanging out in Los Mochis is getting on my nerves. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a missile. Because take that. Go. Boom. Because I got missiles to spare. And that's what they're here for. Damn it. That's fine. And that should take him out. And then we can have that city all to ourselves. And these guys can finish that campaign, and that's it. And then once that's done, that'll actually take about an hour to wrap all that stuff. Then we move on to here. I'm already massing up troops over here on my southern border to go through Reynosa and into Monclova. I got more units coming. That'll be fun. That'll be nice and tidy. Wrap all that nonsense up. Let's put the banner up there. Subscribe today. And hit the notification. No, we don't need that banner up there. We'll do with, how about an overlay? Can we get an overlay? That one? Nah. Do I got another one? Oh, yeah, let's put the logo. Boom. That's me, the Old Humble Distilling Company. I am our primary brand ambassador and the actual owner and distiller of the company, distiller of the whiskey. I do the things, is what I do. So this guy over here, he keeps massing up troops on the border. And I am making sure that he knows I know he's there. And I'm steadily putting units across the border just to make sure, If he decides he wants to attack me. So here's the strategic layout of the game right now. I've got 1,329 victory points. I need 1,700 victory points. He has 862 victory points. He needs 1,700 victory points. If we were to form an alliance between the two of us, we would have enough. We would need 2,000 victory points to wrap up the game. We would have enough between the two of us to wrap up the game. Between Nuevo Leon, Mexico, and Nicaragua, these three positions here, Nicaragua has 330 victory points, I believe. 312 victory points. So just their 312 plus my 1,339 almost wraps up the game. If I go through Nuevo Leon and Mexico and then take on just a little bit of Nicaragua, then we will end the game. And that is my Tri-caramba strategy to finish the game. All I need to do is move south, take as much as I possibly can on my way south. By the time I get to somewhere around Veracruz, somewhere around here, these two cities, I should have the game wrapped up. And I'm thinking another, let's say 10 days from now, day 60 in game, should have this game wrapped up. Now, if Virginia decides they're cool with what they've got, this game, we move forward amicably, everything's fine. I do not need to go east, any further east than I've already gone. I don't need to go into Minnesota. I don't need to go into Ontario. I don't need to go into Quebec. I don't need to do any of that. This can be Virginia's playground. They can do whatever they want. They can go take Cuba. Hey, they can take all of the Caribbean basin if they want. They could even drop units into Panama and start to move north. That's fine. Not going to bother me at all. If he wished to prolong this game and make it go longer than 60 days, he could strike into Texas. He could strike into Illinois and go into Missouri. He could strike me. He could go through Ontario and strike me up here in somewhere in my interior. That would be a bad idea. As you can see you may be able to see up here in the upper left-hand corner, I've got conventional warheads, I've got chemical warheads, and I will soon have nuclear warheads added to my arsenal. My plan is to have some ballistic missile submarines floating around off the coast. I've got some missile launchers. I've got deterrence, is what I'm trying to say. If I needed to, I could fly bombers all the way around Florida, up into the Atlantic, park them over here off of his coast, and just bombard his home cities if I wanted to. I could park them over here off the coast, and I could bombard one of his friendly cities until they rebelled against him. I mean, he could lose Wilmington to insurgents. The insurgents could then start striking out and taking land in other cities as they saw fit. If he wanted to turn this game into a slugfest and just drag it through the mud, he could. I would be happy to respond in kind and make this a long, God, it would make it a much longer game. The thing is, even if he attacked me here in my center somewhere, I'm over here in, my primary cities, of course, are over here in California, but I have more annex cities just kind of sprinkled out throughout my land. So I could build more units, and I'm currently building more units. I'm building tanks, I'm building infantry, I'm building everything steadily, in my build queue over here. So even if he hit me, it would take me like 3 days to respond. Over the course of 3 days, he could go a good long ways into my interior. But because of the mechanics of the game, just as an example, this is an artillery battalion coming from, where is this? Oklahoma City, where they're at? Amarillo. They're in Amarillo. They're coming from Amarillo. They're heading down to the southern border of Texas. That's going to take them another 10 hours just to get to the southern border of Texas. If he went without any opposition whatsoever and came through Louisiana, it would take him a full-on day to get to Albuquerque. It would take him a full another day, at least 2 days, I believe, to get to Carson City. I sent units from Salina, and they're heading over here. It's going to take them 3 days to cross the mountains and get over here into Iowa. So even without opposition, if he just bypassed my cities and went straight through the homeland, it would take him 3 days. I'll be able to build units in those 3 days. So if he decided he wanted to launch his attack, it would take me 2 or 3 days to respond, to build up some units and stop him in his tracks, fly my bombers over him to blow up his columns, and neutralize his offensive, and then another couple of days to turn the tide back. So unless he came and attacked me with like a column of like 50 tanks, not even 50, it would be like 12. Something with like 600 hit points on it. It would take me a long time to stop that column. But eventually I'd stop the column, and then I would get my own units, and then we would just start pushing east. But what I'm trying to get to is that my response to his aggression would be completely with new units, and I would still have my existing army in the south pushing south. So not only would I be collecting up the victory points that I'm getting south of the Rio Grande down there into the southwest, the northwest Mexican regions down here, I would then begin taking his away from him. I'd have a response on his home cities, and then start moving in through his occupied territory. And the same lack of opposition that I had through these regions is what he would have through these regions. And I would start gobbling up his territory. His cities that are occupied cities would start rebelling against him. And I would start moving my units up through the Appalachians, all through here. Any good cities I would be taking over. Meanwhile, my bombs would take out his offensive production capability. So what I'm saying is, if he decided to attack me, the game would actually end quicker, because I would take his land from him with new units, in addition to the land that I'm taking in the south with existing units. And then the game, instead of being a 60-day game, it may be 55. So instead of wrapping it up in 10 days, I'd wrap it up in, still probably wrap it up in 10 days. It may take me 12 days to wrap it up as we're going. But what I'm saying is, instead of taking the normal time that it would take me, I would be able to take an extra 100 or 200 points from him to wrap up the game even quicker. So I'm not really worried. It's fine that he's sending his agents against my cities over here. That's only a small part of my productivity. I'm cool with that. And I've got my counter intel forces working. They're doing what they're supposed to do. It's fine. Keeps him occupied, spends his money. I'm happy with that. It's a game we all play. We're all doing it. We're all doing it. My strategy is a little bit different when it comes to the intel, because I'm more interested in just bogging him down. You see, these cities are all burning down here. It means they're not happy. They're not happy at all. And that's fine, because that means he has to occupy his forces over here in these border cities that he has just recently taken. They're not freely moving around, and they're not freely doing whatever they want to do. Who do I have working over here? Orlando. So Orlando is a happy, free city, 37% morale. And it's falling, because it was at 40% morale yesterday. And now it's at 37%. And it continues to fall. And if he doesn't have a unit occupying that city, which he probably doesn't, because it's not at risk of rebellion, if he doesn't have a unit occupying that city, when that city rebels, it's going to take down all the regions around it. We'll just have to see what happens then. Fayetteville's another one. That was at 45% yesterday. It would be unfortunate if insurgents were to take over that city. It would be very unfortunate. Hopefully nothing like that'll happen. That would be so sad and unfortunate. Hopefully everybody will be happy and peaceful. Hopefully. Let's see here. Where's another city that we can pick on? That's a good one. No, not Charlotte. Asheville? No. Columbus? Columbia? Macon? Yeah, Macon would be a good one. Atlanta. That's a good one. If you are just joining us and you missed the Old Humble Quarantine Happy Hour that came on earlier, you missed out on a humdinger of a show. We had Katie from Beyond Seattle Eats, the world's okayest competitive eating champion. We, of course, had my co-hostess with the mostest, Lisa, and joining me, the co-host with the most for the show. And man, we had a fun time. We had a thoroughly fun time. It was one of our best episodes ever. And I do not say that ironically. I mean it 100%. It was one of our best episodes ever. Had a fun, rousing conversation talking about just competitive eating and training, because I mean she's like an actual, like a real athlete. You have to train for these things. You have to prepare for them. You can't just sit down and start cramming hot dogs down your gullet. You gotta prepare for that stuff. Otherwise, you will. I mean, I assume you'll die if you don't prepare properly. I don't know. But we had a good time, and it's being a responsible sin merchant as I am. We don't do drinking competitions or things like that. I don't want to know how much whiskey you can drink, because you could literally die if you drink too much. There are things called alcohol poisoning. We do not encourage irresponsible drinking. We encourage responsible drinking. Do it with a spotter so you don't pull a muscle, that sort of thing. But also, designated drivers, know your limits, and all that stuff. So we don't get into the competitive drinking. That doesn't. I mean, that doesn't. I don't think that's a thing. I wonder. Let me look that up real quick. Competitive drinking. Drinking. I mean, there's competitive drinking games, obviously, like beer pong and dumb crap like that. There is a malware on my computer that keeps sending my Google searches to Yahoo. Nobody wants to be Yahoo. Competitive drinking games. Maybe there's a competitive drinking league too. So drinking games is one thing. That's not competitive drinking. That's just an excuse to drink. Beer pong and crap like that. That's just like excuses to drink. I'm talking about like competitive drinking, like Nathan's hot dog competition, stuff like that. So there's the beer mile, which is 4 beers, 1 mile. Beer mile is exactly what it sounds like, a gastro-athletic competition that challenges the brave or foolish who drink enough to drink But see, this is an actual competition. I think this is just, fat guys at a track running and drinking or whatever. Roger Bannister, of course, ran a 4-minute mile last year in Marin, California, weeks shy of his 60th anniversary of Bannister's run. James Nielsen cracked open the first of 4 Budweisers, drained it in 4 seconds, and sprinted through another barrier, the 5-minute beer mile. Says it was on ESPN. Half drunk history, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this is an actual competition. I don't think that's an actual competitive thing. I think that's just a challenge. Competitive drinking games, drinkgamemaster.com. See, these are just games. This isn't drinking competitions. So eating competitions are, I mean, you got to train for that. I don't think you can train for a drinking game. That's just, an excuse to drink. So I don't remember where this train of thought, where the station for this train of thought started at. What I'm saying is we don't get into the competitive drinking because that's dangerous and bad for you. I assume there's a way. All right. He just got hit with this infantry unit just got hit with a cruise missile and he's still not dead. All right. Let's get this AWACS over him so we can see what's going on up there. Maybe run this bomber over him too. Okay. I don't remember what I was talking about. Competitive eating is what Katie does, and you train for competitive eating contests. You don't train for competitive drinking contests because I don't think competitive drinking is an actual thing. I know there was that dumb show beer drinking. Oh shit, I don't remember, like Chug U or Beer Fest or something like that, where they do the dumb competition with the boot, the beer boot. It's not that hard, but they made a whole thing out of twisting the boot. It really isn't that big of a deal. You turn the boot sideways and you can just drink it straight like that too. It's not that complicated. But they were like, oh, there's a bubble, and if you drink it and a bubble comes and it splashes all in your face and blah 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 blah. It's not really that big of a deal. Anyway, what am I griping about? What I'm trying to say is I don't think there is such a thing as competitive drinking. There's the friendly games of drinking, like when we play soccer and drink beer, or play softball and drink beer, or play beer pong and drink beer. But that's not like how many beers can you smash, because that's like dangerous and that's going to kill you. Don't do that. But that's not dangerous. Like eating hot dogs is, I mean, eventually that'll kill you because hot dogs are not exactly like healthy food. Uh, so you've got to train for that sort of thing. And it's not as dangerous to be a competitive eater as it is to be a competitive drinker, partly because being a competitive drinker doesn't exist. And, alcohol poisoning is a real thing. So you don't like that scene from Indiana Jones. Oh, yeah, that scene from Indiana Jones. Where's that scene from Indiana Jones? That scene from Indiana Jones when they're, is it the Last Crusade? No, the Temple of Doom. Is it the Temple of Doom? Indiana Jones and is it the Ark? Yeah, because she's in the bar drinking. Yeah, Indiana Jones, Lost Ark, drinking competition. That one? Or is it the drinking scene? Meeting Marion. Yeah, this one. Okay, hang on a second. We're going to unshare this screen and we're going to share this screen here, YouTube with audio, that one. Do we have a commercial? Of course we have a commercial. Well, let's watch the commercial. That'll be fine. Whatever. Of course it's buffering. Why wouldn't it buffer? The Indiana Jones, the drinking game. I mean, you know which scene I'm talking about. This is not a realistic depiction of drinking. Like, this will kill you. Like, this many shots all at once? After they've had that many? I mean, what is that? 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's like. By the way, this is Clips Time. That's their channel. We've got 1, 2. Hang on a second. Hang on. Well, wait. Stop. Back up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's their 5th shot. I assume it's in a very short amount of time. I mean, we're supposed to, she's got the alcohol sweats. We assume that's vodka, maybe tequila, maybe some kind of fermented yak's milk or something like that that's been fermented and distilled. I mean, look, she can barely hold it down. She's like, no, I'm not dead. Fuck you, man. See me? I'm rallying. That's not how drinking works, man. All right, look over here. How many she got over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's her 8th shot. 8 shots for a girl her size, a woman her size. She's dead, man. That is alcohol poisoning. And this old lady who can bear. Okay, stop. Oh, hang on. Move back just a couple seconds here. We're going to count these upside down shot glasses. Boom. Stop. Farts. Almost there. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is number 12. 12 fucking shots will kill you, man. You don't drink 12 shots. You don't drink 12 shots in a night. This is not, and that's more than that because there was another one off screen. That's 13 shots. Is that I think that's a woman. She's got really nice fingernails. So I'm going to say that's a woman, not a dude. But it could be a dude. And you see, boom. He's passed out. That's alcohol poisoning right there. But there's no, like, what I'm saying is, and she didn't just jump up and, like, in real life, 13 shots, 12 shots in a person that size, she didn't just jump up and be all like, whew, I'm out of breath and a little bit dizzy. No, she's also dead. Like, that will kill you. Indiana Jones, man. Young Harrison Ford.
Hello, Marion.
This is a great movie, by the way. I've only seen this movie like 100,000 times. But what I'm saying is, competitive drinking is not a thing. And I think that's what I'm getting at. But competitive eating, that's a thing. You train for competitive eating, you're like a real athlete. Competitive drinking, that's not a thing. You're just gonna fucking kill yourself. Because alcohol poisoning is a thing. Drinking competitions don't look like that. Drinking competitions look more like that dude who fell over and died with alcohol poisoning than her jumping up out of there, being all like, oh yeah, I'm just fine. It's just a bunch of booze. She was like on the edge of vomiting, on the edge of done. She puts the thing down. Then all of a sudden, magically, she's like, I can count money. I'm telling you, after 12 shots, you can barely form a sentence. You're not going to be counting money. Screw that. You not even can you barely form a sentence. You can barely like breathe because you're gonna be getting your stomach pumped. I'm sure there's a point to this. Anyway, what I'm saying is, the competitive drinking. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's gone. He dead. Pee-wee dead. Oh no! Oh Lord, no, Pee-wee. He dead. All right, get your ass back here. So that whole process of training for a competitive eating competition just straight up fascinated me. And it was a hell of a conversation. Fun show, fun people. Katie's a fun person. Lisa's a fun person. Me with my typical nonsense. They put up with me. I love them to death. I'm so glad that they put up with me. And by the way, we're giving away a bottle of whiskey next week. Where's my bottle of whiskey? This one right here. It has a little silver star on it to show that this is the bottle of whiskey that we're giving away. This is the bottle of whiskey that we're giving away. Join our show next week, Thursday, 9 p.m., June 17th, Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Subscribe to the channel. You got to be a subscriber to win. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, and I know I can look that shit up. Don't test me. Say something and comment. Make any kind of comment you want on the show next week. Your name shows up in comments. You go onto the Wheel of Fate. We spin the Wheel of Fate somewhere in the middle of the show. We spin the Wheel of Fate. Your name comes up. You go home with a bottle. We'll invite you onto the show. Come on and say, yep, I'm a real person. That's me, la, la, la. And then we will get your I'll get your address and I'll send you the bottle. And it's as easy as that. 1, 2, 3, buckle my knee. 2 with a shoe. Banana clip skidoo. I don't know. I'm just making up words now. Things that rhyme. I do that. And I'm not going to say I do that all the time. That would be silly. We're not in with silliness. We're not in with silliness. That's my Julia Child cooking show voice. You kids these days don't know who Julia Child is, but she was a straight up boss. She just get drunk and cook stuff, and everybody loved her. Anyway, what am I talking about? What are we doing? Okay, I'm looking at my build queue. Going to see what we have coming up. City list, build queue. I'm trying to build my tank commander here. That starts in a day in San Diego. What do we got going on in San Diego? Why is that going to take a day? It's because we got the recruiting office that is being built right now. That recruiting office is going to take another 9 hours to complete. And then my tank commander comes in. And when my tank commander comes online, I will put together a whole column of tanks and artillery, and my tank commander will kick the shit out of anything in its way. Cheyenne moved up because that starts in 30 minutes. A lot of late game stuff is simply managing your build queue so that you don't have stuff that takes 2 days clogging up the channels for the stuff that takes 5 hours and 7 hours and stuff like that. I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but this level 4 port in Houston is going to be 55,000 days or 5,500 days in Sacramento. Okay, what's going on in Sacramento? See, this is one of the nuisances that are coming about from my friend over in Virginia, hitting my facilities and doing stuff. So that strike fighter is paused because the air base is busted. I need to rebuild the air base. What? There we go. Need to rebuild the air base so that this will resume, and we can get my tank out of the queue. I ain't even mad at him. Ain't even mad at him. Oops, that's 2 days, 6 hours. 1 day, 8 hours. Get up in there. All right. Then Eureka must have destroyed my army base or something in Eureka. Got to go fix that. Yep, damage the army base. Which means I don't have the facilities I need to make my tank, which is why the tank had a little red light or a red flag next to it, because I can't build it because he damaged my army base. So now see, it's yellow because I'll still need to get the resources together to do it. And I think he stole electronics from me as well. Let me look and see real quick. Go down to little purple notifications. Corruption. He was captured. Spy action. Buildings were damaged in Eureka. That was my army base. Intelligence mission working in Eureka. He was suspected spy action. One agent who was working has been captured, so that was probably the same agent in Eureka. Buildings damaged in Sacramento. So he's actually, it looks like he's running out of agents, or we just didn't capture them all. Well, it's going to be funny if one of his cities revolts on him. And then he has this insurgency in his backyard. Maybe that'll get him to lay off my cities with his little spy actions. Okay, so what's next? What was I doing? I was looking at my build queue and managing my time for production. All right. So this guy is 11 hours. Let's get him up there. So we've got 8 hours, 11 hours, 13 hours. That's fine. So what we're waiting for with this level 4 naval base is the level 3 naval base to finish. Sacramento's fine. Fresno, it's funny that it's 5,566 days. That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh a lot. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Tis funny. Tis to laugh. Ha ha. Tis funny. Tis to laugh. Tis to make me chuckle. Ha ha. Ha ha. 13, 16. Okay. Let's see here. 1 day, 18 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 22, 23. Chemical weapons are a day, 23 hours. Okay. I'm not worried about things that are like 18 hours in the future or whatever. We'll be able to adjust that when we come to it. It's a long build queue. But it just makes sure that I have stuff in production for several hours down the road. Every 3 hours or so, hour, 4 hours, 6 hours, what is that? Every 2.5 hours or so, something else goes into production. Eventually, I'll let this dwindle down so that I won't have anything that can build up some resources. And just let things kind of ride for a while. But right now, I'm still trying to build up resources to make sure I can go full aggro against my southern states, the southern nations down there, the Tri-caramba region, the Tri-caramba battles, and then possibly have a few extra units in reserve just in case I do get some unexpected aggression from the east. I don't, as evidenced by the term unexpected aggression. I don't expect it to come, but I also want to be sure I am ready for it if it does unexpectedly come at me. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, this is another, it's a relatively short live stream for my little wind down portion of the show. I'm going to go find a live Friday night hang, maybe with over with Jimmy or Groovy or Chad, one of those guys. But 2 weeks from now, we've got, the biggest show in the history of our quarantine happy hours. It's the biggest show and the last show. We've got a all-star lineup of guests with Micah from Micah's Mix, Raptor from Raptor Gaming. We've got Slade Ham, who's performed comedy in something like 95,000 countries and 6 planets. We've got the folks from Keeping It Neat. We've got the folks from 21090. We've got I may even slip in another couple of guests on the show, but that's already 6 guests. That's 6 guests coming on the show. And then maybe I'm working on finding a band to wrap the show up with, to wrap up the show and wrap up my 100-episode run of doing quarantine happy hours. I can't believe it's been that many. Can't believe it's been that long, but it's going to be the ultimate kick-assest, awesomest show in the history of shows. You can mark my words on that one. That's the 100th episode. The show's out there on the YouTubes on our channel. Hit a reminder for it. Subscribe to the channel. Like our videos. Comment on the videos. Blah, blah, blah. Do all the things, and stuff. It's late. I'm tired. It's midnight. I've been busy all damn day. Guys, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, cheers. Make that a little bit smaller. Cheers. Have a great night. See you. This is the hand I use to click on the buttons. Good night, everybody. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.